Friday, yeah. Saturday, Sunday, yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it. So much better, much better results, but we're not there yet. So let's keep this on. Let's keep it going. Who's joining me this morning? Let's see. Why do I feel like... Can you hear me? Can you hear me? 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear me? Put down in the comments if you can hear me, because I... turned it off. Okay, that's because I turned it off by mistake. Okay, yeah? That should be okay actually now. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's better. It is working. I can see on there. So who's coming on? Where are they all? Come on, let's have you on. We need to complete this week of the briefs. We've got lots of work, lots of motivation to do. Right, we're coming in now. Just drop into the comments. I want to see who's on. Let's go out with a bang this week. It's not over. We know that. This is only... Morning, Donna. Morning, Julia. We know this isn't the end of the week. We mustn't think this is the end of the week, because actually this is probably the start of the week, really, isn't it? It's usually those weekends that we are not focused and not moving forward. But so it's been a good week. It's been an excellent week so far. That's what we're talking about, so far. So your wins for the week. So did you set yourself a mini goal, or did you set yourself a much bigger goal this week? I want to know what you did, because we need to really dig deep on what's working. We've, I need to know those things. What exactly did you do? What mentality? What did you shift in your mindset this week? So we like to look at the wins of the week. And I'm going to remove the word the challenges of the week, because what that tends to do is bring everybody into like, oh, I had this challenge, I had that challenge, and actually some of them are this excuse and that excuse, and and so I'm going to remove what were your challenges out of it. So we want to see what you're going to work on next week. You've got the wins of this week. Friday's planning for next week, remember, but we're also the weekend included in that. So where are you with that? So let's have a look. Going back to thinking about weight loss pre-Christmas and how I achieved that. Brilliant. That is brilliant. And that's as simple as it is, because there were the goals. And, that hasn't been lost. All that work has not been lost. We could have got a lot further than we are, but we're not looking. But what I want you to do right now, I want you to have a look, because we're talking this morning about motivation in workouts. Now, it's snowing out there, and I know this morning that I've got my client in at 8:15. I know no matter what it's like out there, that client is going to be arriving this morning, because she is 100 million% committed to getting her job done. She is climbing Everest next month. So, and she's going for the summit, not just the base camp. So I know that, she can't turn around and in her mindset and go, the snow stopped me from getting to my session this morning. And so I want us all to have a bit more of that mindset. I want to have more of an Everest mindset, because that is the mindset that has been given to me by her over the last 3 months since I've been training. It's really made me sit up and notice what exactly how I'm underperforming. And I want you to think of how you're underperforming. Look back 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I don't care if you're older, because some people on here, of 10 years ago, they're my age, they are my age now. Okay. So, and the challenges that they're still doing, now are fantastic. And that is looking back, right? What challenges? So, for example, like 10 years ago, took people that used to do marathons. We did half marathons in my training. I was doing that, and people who wanted to join me did that as well. So that was then, and that's 10 years ago. And some people were 10 years older than me. Yeah. Some people were 10 years younger than me. And we had that broad spectrum so an age was not and is not an issue on this. It is about mindset. So moving forward from that, it doesn't have to be a marathon. It doesn't have to be a 26-mile walk that we're doing, but we do need to be challenging our body, and we do need to be going forward. It may have been that you did a succession of tennis tournaments back then, and you had that, you were putting yourself through that challenge. And again, it may not be, you may have done that and you don't want to do that now. There may be, I don't particularly want to run a marathon anymore, or half marathons and stuff like that. Not because I can't, just that I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. We have challenges there every day. So it's some people, the drive of setting themselves a challenge, like a moonwalk, like something else, keeps you in the zone. I see challenges on Facebook and stuff like this. Oh my God, they're so underperforming. We are so underperforming. The fact that we can't put anything bigger out there than doing a flipping, step count and that challenge. The challenges have really dropped. I'll tell you that over the last 10 years, what you see on Facebook, what you see people doing and achieving. I don't know what's happened, but people are not achieving what they did 10 years ago. So we've got to get that mindset, the challenge mindset, back up. So what challenges, so look back. I want you to look back over the last 10 years on your fitness. What was it like then compared to now? I know some of you haven't dropped that fitness, and I know that you are still moving and you're moving towards goals, and you are relentless, and that's fantastic. There's other challenges that you have to think of in that. So again, maybe your challenge is the food part, and you have to be as relentless in that mindset about that as you would be in your fitness. So we often get one part right and the other part isn't. So what we really want you to go is use this as a challenge that you are doing to an end goal, but keep going. Use your Everest, find your Everest. That's what I want you to do. So as I say, we're all underperforming, all of us. There's been times that previous to the last month, the 2 months, whatever, I've had this mindset going in the gym. I have this thing of I will do 9 exercises and I'll do them hard, and then I'm going out. There's never the extra 10 minutes, like before I would do the extra 10 minutes, or I would do the run in the morning and then I'd go to the gym. Okay, time has changed a little bit, but the mindset's changed. That's what it is. It isn't about the time, it's the mindset that changed. We want to get that mindset back up. We want to be showing up every time we're going, instead of just turning up. We want to be really showing up on stuff, because that's how we build the desire within us to get those results, to move forward, by really getting head in the game. I mean, the doing something and so changing things and becoming more healthy and food wise, you won't want to go off plan at the weekend. When you reach that level of real exhilarating energy and and feeling like you are a machine, which I'm feeling now, the thought, I do want to go out on the weekend, but do I want to go for a cocktail, a shot and all of that, like I probably would have done 12 months ago? No, because I know I feel 1,000,000% right on my game at the moment. Now what what would change that? Well, a night out like that for one, that would change it. A night out for that one would make me wake up with a headache, make me feel negative about what I'd done, probably waste half the next day, you know, although I don't ever tend to do that. I make sure that I'm on it because I cannot stand wasted days. They are pointless. So, you know, but they still would be lurking in the back of the mind about how you know, how I don't feel quite so energetic and as good as I did the week before. So we have to, okay, sometimes we have things that crop up. So for example, like last year after the jabs, I felt really ill after all my jabs, after the 2 jabs that I had, and so I was ill for a good 12 months. I know that, and I knew it then, but especially from how I feel back to where I was right now. And like for the whole year back, I was wading through treacle to get forward, and that never feels great. And I know that some of you have that as well, that you're wading through treacle. But there's one thing as well that we need to look at, that is balancing the body and the mind, okay? That's probably the issue with some things that are going on here. Balancing the body and the mind. Got a lot going on in the background, but you allowing that to take over, and like we've got to stop that. That's a path of self-destruction, because you've got to come first. I cannot say it enough, and it doesn't matter whatever there, you've got to put your own oxygen mask on before you can help anyone else. You've got to have those achievements. You've got to get this resilience that you are on the top of the world. You feel on the top of the world because you're the one that's going to be making the decisions for someone else who isn't on top of the world. And if you're not on top of the world, you're not going to make the right decisions for them. You really aren't. So none of this, I've got to do this for someone else, I've got to do that for someone else. It's about you. It's about you, the here, the now, and moving forward. It's you that has got to get that before you can give back to anyone else. So let's be the best body that we can possibly be. Let's do that. You know, we've got to keep that going. I don't want any more underperforming. You know, okay, some of you are going to have like when I say do 60 push-ups in a day, some of you are going to, like, you know, maybe have compromising injuries, but we can adapt that. We can adapt and do something different. You know, you could just do a plank where it comes down to the chest. You maybe need to looking at the position of your with your hands up here if it's like compromising the upper body up here. The press up needs to be down there, it needs to be across the chest. So looking at things like that, it may be that, okay, you can't do anything on your upper body except for you could switch it up to do like you know, some side leg raises, but just keep your head in the game. Okay, I can't do that. Can I do this, Gail? Can I do that challenge instead? Yes, you can. Make sure you tick the box, you know, because these small challenges, they're the small challenges that get to the big challenges. And I think, you know, we have to expect setbacks, but we're not going to sit there and say, oh, I didn't do this because I had a setback. What did you do instead then? Ask yourself, what am I doing instead then? That's a setback. What am I doing instead? I'm not giving up. I'm doing something else instead. I'm making a swap. I'm making a swap today. And that's what we've got to do, because it really is about keeping that swaps going, keeping those swaps on the days that you don't feel you can do anything. It's about, right, you know, I know we've got, like, you know, people, if you've got a virus or something like that, okay, you can't get up and move around, you've got to rest, you're supposed to rest. So what's your swap today on that? My swap is I'm going to do my breath work. My swap is, my challenge today is I'm going to do my breath work. These small challenges that improve your health to eventually get to these big challenges that you can get to. They really are. So sometimes we have to regress to progress, and all the time, if you've got issues on the knees, regress on your knee, not on the rest of your body, not on your food, not on everything else. you know. And if something that you are doing on treatment wise, if you have, and it's not working within around 6 weeks, then something's not working right, so you need to change. And if things keep going back to being injury and niggle, something's not working right, so you need to switch it up and change something. And remember that everything comes from within, so it is from within. It's what you're eating, what you're drinking, what the effects we have on the external part of our body. That's what matters. That really is. And you know, it's like what comes first, chicken or egg on this. And you know, how do I get the motivation? You get the motivation from knowing that you're on it, when on the days that you are physically, you know, physically you can't do it, but mentally you're on it. Physically you're switching to your breath work or your meditation, you are still on it. And this will keep you to the mindset, the consistency wins. We've got to get that. So we're going into the weekend. I'm going to wrap it up here. We're going to the weekend, and we've got all these, whatever's in front of you. It may be that with weather-wise you were in the house. Come on, let's find a project then. Let's find a challenge. So I want you to this weekend think about this fitness. Look back over the last 10 years. What challenges? It may be that you have been injured, and the challenge was that. You know, what are you going to do to overcome that? I've come out that 9 exercise headspace. My extra is going on. My mission is in the last, since Christmas, is to gain muscle, because muscle lost through not feeling great to train as hard last year. So I lost muscle. Guess what? Over the age of, like, you know, at the age of 58, lost muscle means saggy skin, right? That isn't the only thing. Lost muscle means no grip strength. Lost muscle means like instability on my feet. So to try and do yoga and balance on one leg was like, because the instability of not doing my strength training like I used to was having a massive effect on my feet. Can you believe that? Now I've gone back to doing my lunges, lots and lots of weighted lunges, and the stability on my feet, the balance is massively improved on that. So look at what you've got that niggles and think we should not be moving away from stuff, like I said, unless your doctor has said. I know of a girl that had a car accident, and she's basically got her spinal column hanging on by a thread. So there's certain exercises that she can't do and can never do. Great, find out what that is, but there's a million exercises that we can do instead of that. And we shouldn't be, when we've got a niggle in the knee, you go to the x-ray, you get it x-rayed, eliminate what it might be. If there's bits floating around, the stuff you can. If it's muscular, then you regress to progress, to go forward. You don't keep with the frustration bashing it and going at 100 miles an hour, but you regress and you do it consistently to progress. All right then, I'm loving it this week, but we're not going to get too excited, yeah, because we're not there yet. I want you to keep this, we're going to keep this going. We're going to keep it going, so when Easter hits, you won't want to go anywhere else except for staying where you're at with this. You want to keep that mindset. I want to keep going. I want you to go all the way to your top goals, guys. We're going to go there. Have a good day, and I'll be on WhatsApp. With lots of questions this weekend to keep us in the game. Have a good one. Good stuff.